Do you have a creepy uncle in your family? Today's Reddit story is exactly about that. The OP is asking, was he wrong for calling out on his creepy uncle? Let's find out more about it. It's from the subreddit Am I the A-hole? And it's titled, Am I the A-hole for calling out my uncle in front of everyone after making weird comments on my girlfriend's looks and being too touchy? So, basically, at a family barbecue last weekend, my uncle, mid-50s, kept making creepy comments about my girlfriend Kate, 21 female, who I invited. At first, it was backhanded compliments like, wow, you're way too pretty for him. But then it got worse. I would have snatched you up back in the day, and must be a struggle to compromise for me. He even joked about how my girlfriend must get hit on all the time and how I should keep an eye on her. On top of that, he was being way too touchy, putting his hand on her lower back, touching her arm when he laughed, and even leaning in too close while talking to her. My girlfriend was clearly uncomfortable, but tried to brush it off. She told me privately that it made her uncomfortable. I confronted him in front of everyone, straight up calling him a creep and telling him to knock it off in a loud way. He got defensive, saying he was just joking, and my mom told me I was out of line for embarrassing him like that. Some family members agree with me, but others think I overreacted and should have handled it privately since everyone knows him as a joker and just loves making conversation, which he is good at. Some male cousins of mine are insinuating I was jealous and exaggerating stuff because my uncle talked to their partners too and they didn't have any complaints like Kate. My uncle said he was just making jokes and he didn't mean any of it. And he is really disappointed that I looked at him as that kind of guy. Am I the a-hole for calling him out publicly instead of pulling him aside? Wow. OP, you did the right thing. Your uncle is straight up a creep. He is in his mid-50s making those kind of comments to your girlfriend who is 21. She's clearly uncomfortable. And it's clearly that your uncle doesn't really give a crap about how uncomfortable he is making Kate. You did the right thing by calling him out. All your other family members who are saying like it was rude or you were wrong for calling him out in public, no. Sometimes you need shame in order to have the person change their behavior. Okay? And your uncle is really a creep. He's like basically twice the age of your girlfriend and you, I'm assuming you're probably around the same age. And he's saying, oh, back in the days, I could have snatched you up. Oh, creep, you're old enough to be her dad. Like, seriously? Oh, these are the type of people that I like to make the excuse of like, oh, I'm just joking or I'm just messing around. That's just an excuse to try to justify their actions. There's no justification for you making those comments other than you being a creep. And OP, thank you for standing up for your girlfriend. And thank you for believing and trying to make your girlfriend as comfortable as possible. Now, on to the comments about his cousin saying, well, some of his male cousins saying that they didn't hear any comments about their partners having complaints about this uncle. You know what? It's probably because their significant other are too scared to tell them. Or they believe that they won't get, like, nothing would change. That they wouldn't believe them and would just brush them off. Because obviously, it sounds like some of your relatives are okay with this behavior. And maybe those significant others might feel like, oh, yeah, they're not going to defend me like this OP. They're just not going to be like, oh, you know, he's just harmless. He's just an uncle. He's fun like that. He just likes to make conversation. No, I don't think so. Again, you need to call out people for their actions. Anyways, let's see what some of the commenters have to say about this. First commenter says, thank you, thank you, thank you. My ex-best friend used to creep all over me, and my boyfriend would always act like I was overreacting. All I wanted was one time. Tell the guy to keep his hands off of me, and he never did it. And anytime I made a big deal about it, everyone would treat me like I was the one overreacting. Thank you for doing this. I wish all men would do this every time they see it happen. OP responds by saying, sorry for that, and thank you too. Exactly. They need to keep their hands to themselves. And these men, I don't think they're men. I think they're boys. They're not going to stand up for their significant other. Seriously. Having someone else touch your significant other inappropriately or in an uncomfortable manner, and you're not going to say anything? Really? Another commenter says, what always amazed me about situations like this is that people are so quick to pounce on the person who's standing up for someone who's trapped in an uncomfortable situation. Your uncle was the one who was being inappropriate, and you, quite appropriately, put a stop to his behavior to protect your girlfriend. What your uncle and everyone else failed to realize is that there was a power imbalance here. Your girlfriend was a new girl at a family gathering, meaning she probably felt obligated to be agreeable in order to be accepted by the group. She felt uncomfortable but was too scared to stop the behavior. She was at a disadvantage, and your uncle took advantage of the situation, knowingly or unknowingly. That's a very good point, commenter. OP responds by saying, seeing her visibly shaken was just awful, and the ask for help was just all that was needed for me to go at my uncle. I was furious. Yeah, I would be too. She was visibly shaking. Wow. She must be super uncomfortable. And thank you, OP, for standing up for her. Another commenter says, not the a-hole. You did the right thing, especially since your girlfriend was uncomfortable. Sometimes public confrontation is the only way to get the point across. I agree. OP responds by saying, I'm sure he also said some things to others. They just don't speak up. Kate was shaken, and I did what needed to be done. Yes. Another commenter says, we need to teach kids from a young age. Call out creeps on their behavior. You don't have to be polite to men who creep you out. Well done. I can imagine the horrible, awkward, uncomfortable situation she was put in by him, and you got her out of it. Yep. Another commenter says, Uncle said he was just making jokes and he didn't mean any of them, and he is really disappointed that I looked at him as that kind of guy. Not the a-hole. Turn that on him. Express how disappointed you are that your uncle is acting like that kind of guy. Ooh, that's a good comeback. I agree with that. Another commenter says, some male cousins of mine are insinuating I was jealous and exaggerating stuff because my uncle talked to their partners too, and they didn't have any complaints like Kate. Geez, I wonder why their girlfriends haven't raised any discomfort to such dismissive partners. That's what I'm saying. Wow. My uncle said he was just making jokes. Shouldn't be a problem to stop them then. Other things I overreacted and should have handled it privately. He did it publicly. He gets called out publicly, not the a-hole. Exactly. If you do something out in public, then be prepared to have the reaction in public. Another commenter says, thank you for standing up for your girlfriend when she said she was uncomfortable. Too often, men like your uncle get away with being creeps because of the lie that they are just kidding and the woman is overreacting. It's sad, but we need guys like you to call out jerks like him publicly before anything will change. That's very true. Another commenter says, not the a-hole. Every time a crowd politely ignores unacceptable behavior just to keep the peace, a creep gets bolder because they're sure there won't be any consequences for acting in a way they know is unacceptable. Then they get entitled and cry about it when people don't politely ignore their behavior and instead say out loud what everyone already knows. That behavior is unacceptable and they need to stop. Maybe he'll think twice next time. Ooh, good point. Anyways, what do you guys think of the situation? Do you think the OP did the right thing by standing up and publicly humiliating his uncle? Or do you think he should have done this privately? Let me know in the comment section. And remember, if you like these types of stories, continue to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.